Alright boys, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to train, how to ascend to that next level. I get a lot of questions about how to practice, how to train, how to efficiently practice, a lot of stuff like that. So I'm going to make this video, this is the answer, this is how I trained, this is how I got good. So follow these steps, they will definitely help you. You might have better ways to do it, so if you think there's a better way for you personally to do it, follow your own way, but this is just how I did it. I think this worked. It's really consistent. I suggest this to everybody. So if you want to get better, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. I get a lot of questions about character choices, and especially early on when people are just starting out the game, they always ask me, which character should I play to learn the game? When you're new to the game, just pick who you like. It doesn't really matter. Because you're just learning the game, you can pretty much learn it with anybody. Some might be easier than others, but just find the character you like and stick it out with them for a little bit at first. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is combos. So combos in MK11 and in any fighting game are usually pretty easy to do for the most part once you practice them. Initially, some combos can be a little bit daunting and a little bit scary. However, if you put the time in and you actually just practice them, eventually you're going to be able to do all these combos without really even thinking about it, to be honest. Pretty simple combo, pretty easy. However, initially learning it was hard and I used to drop it a lot. All you really need to do is just keep practicing that same combo. So like, for example, if you're dropping a combo maybe 1 out of 5 times, just keep practicing it. So I'll do that same combo 10 times in a row. And then once I've done that, I'll go to options, swap sides, and I'll do the same combo. Exactly the same thing until I get it consistently. And there you go. I see I just dropped it right there. So that shows I need to go to the other side, practice it more. So that's just a perfect example of that right there. So I'll do it again. And there we go, we got it that time. So yeah, you see what I mean? You just need to practice the same combos consistently. What I do, so for example, I will practice this combo 10 times in a row on this side right here. So I'll keep doing this. And I'll do this combo. Okay, that's 1. And I will keep doing it until I get it 10 times in a row. So even if I get 9 and then I fail the 10th, reset, do it again 10 times in a row. Once I get it 10 in a row, go back to the other side, rinse and repeat. You can do this for every combo in the game. You're going to be able to do them consistently if you just practice it like that. Obviously it takes work, but it's really worth it in the end. It really gets your muscle memory going and it makes all these combos so easy in the future. Alright, next we're going to talk about defense. So I'm going to be showing you some basic defense drills that I do to train my defense, my reactions, how to get better against throws, staggers, everything like that. So this is some really basic stuff. However, it makes a big difference if you can get good at it. And against some characters, there are situations where you do just have to guess. So don't always get discouraged in that regard. But this will still help you in the long run against a lot of characters and a lot of players anyway. So I've set up Scorpion here to do a few options. So he's got throw, he's got stagger, and he's got a jab string that looks like a throw. So my objective here is to be able to block all the staggers and tech all the throws. So I'm going to try that right now. Same thing, I'm going to try and get 10 in a row. One, two. Yep, so see, you guys see, I'm not getting opened up by anything, right? Oh, there we go, I did right at the end. So, but that's a perfect example of a drill that I would do consistently. So, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to tech the throw, block all the staggers, and not get hit by 1-1 when he's doing 1-1 string, because it looks like a throw, right? So, obviously you can never get this 100% of the time. Eventually you're going to mess up. Eventually you're going to mess up, you're going to make that mistake, but if you can get it at least like 80-90%, that's really, really good, and it's honestly going to give you a huge edge against a lot of players. So setting drills up like this is really training your brain to get a lot better at these situations. So once these situations come into real matches, you're ready, you're reacting, you know the options. Like, having all this in your brain is what can really push you to the next level in comparison to people that aren't doing this. So really try to add stuff like this into your game, guys. You don't always have to be playing the game to get better. Practice mode is your friend. It is going to help you a lot, especially early on. So definitely try and use it as much as you can. So you guys can probably tell by now that there's a recurring pattern in my training and my ideas behind the training. So repetition is the way to getting better. I'm telling you guys. That doesn't mean playing 100,000 games, a million games. More so playing games alongside practice mode, putting 2 and 2 together. It really will help you out, especially when you're learning the game initially. You need to get those initial fundamentals like ingrained into your brain. So that's why repetition is so important when you're learning the game. Practicing things like throw techs, combos, Just those defense drills like I showed you, getting all this into your brain is going to make you really, really good in the future. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to talk about, this is a really, really big one. This is probably the biggest one. However, it's the hardest one as well. So you can never truly be the best at this. You can never practice this in a practice mode kind of thing. But you can practice theories and get your brain thinking more to make it easier for you. So now we're going to talk about how to open your opponent up and how to make reads on your opponent's defense. So at the very basic level, you can throw people. You can do mids that'll hit them if they're ducking or jumping. Okay, so at a very basic level, obviously every mid can be blocked. Everything in the game pretty much can be blocked besides a few unblockables. And to beat that, you have to throw them, right? Now, obviously, you can duck throws. Okay, so as most of you probably know, throws can be ducked and they can just get straight under and punish you really easily. However, if they're ducking, they get hit by the mid and then they get full comboed. So this is a choice that a lot of people will make, especially at lower level and even high level, to be honest. Ducking throws is a really big thing in this game, or jumping throws as well. This is where you get the time to make those reads and open up your opponent and actually get damage going. Alright, so I'm using Cabal, and for a basic BMB, I'm just going to do a really basic one. For example, he could be getting at least 20%, and that's not even optimal at all. So he's probably getting like 28% or something like that. Okay, so a throw does around 13%. So this is where you make the calculations, and you can actually make the theory in your brain to understand when to do which one and how to open up your opponent in that regard. So really, all it comes down to is downloading your opponent's habits. Like, are they ducking a lot? Are they jumping a lot? Are they blocking a lot? Are they pressing buttons a lot? You need to take mental notes as much as possible to find out what kind of player your opponent is. So a lot of people have pretty good defense at the higher levels, and it kind of gets hard to open them up. And that's where you got to bring things in like 50-50 throws, like forward and back throw. You got to do delay mids. You got to do delay jabs to look like a throw. So mixing all of these things up is how you kind of open up your opponent. So if there's someone that blocks a lot, that means you can throw them a lot. If there's someone that jumps a lot, you do your basic mids, or you just wait for them and then try an anti-air. If they have really good defense, you got to do some really hard mix-ups. So you'll have to like left-right 50-50 them. Or you have to do really delayed mids or delayed throws. This is how you really open people up if they have really good defense. But usually at the lower level, it's pretty easy to open people up with just mids or just throws. So you can really kind of try and download your opponent and figure out which one works best for you in that match. However, you need to be ready to adapt if they start punishing you for your options. So yeah, basic thing is just take notes on your opponent really fast in your brain. Try and adapt really fast to the way they're reacting. Like if they're jumping, if they're mashing, like I said, blocking, all that stuff. That is where you make the reads. So you need to actually have a little bit of data. So usually like the first round or two is where you'll have that data, and then you can kind of go from there. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to touch on is just another way I trained as well when I was getting good at the start. Was just focusing on one thing per day or per week or anything. You don't have to set really big goals. Don't expect to be really good really fast. Take it slow. Just focus on one thing every day or even every week, to be honest. So for example, if you're not good at anti-airs, which is really hard in this game anyway, that's something you can work on. So you set one day, you're just going to say, alright, I'm focusing on anti-airs. Every match I play, I'm just going to make sure I anti-air every time. Even if you lose, or you don't anti-air every time, if you're putting that effort in, it's going to get easier, it's going to happen more. And then eventually it's going to become one of your natural reactions, and you're going to be able to do it every time. Only if your character can, though. Some jump kicks are really broken, and some anti-airs suck, so sometimes that's not even your fault. Okay, so last thing I want to say really quickly is just take it slow. You do not need to rush this. There's a lot of time to get good at fighting games. They're not going anywhere. Alright boys, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope this helped. That is exactly how I trained, man. That is how I got good. That is how I stay consistent. So I do all of this stuff still to this day. The drills, the repetition, all of that is exactly what I do still to this day. So trust me, it works. See how it goes for you. I'm sure it'll help no matter what. It might not be the best way for you, but just see what works for you. Try it. If it works out, great. If not, try something else. See if you can find some ways around what I've showed you to kind of implement it into your training. Good luck out there, boys. If you have any other MK11 related questions, you can drop them in the comments. Make sure you boys sub to the channel, man. We're going for 10k this year. We are creeping on about almost 7.2k, so we're on the way to 10k. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.